Welcome back, guys. Today I wanted to show you Ifbb Pro Bloodwork. So welcome back to the channel, guys. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button. A lot of you guys that are watching are still not yet subscribed, so support me, support the channel through subscription, and support me through using my code at trainbyjp.com, Kuba10 for your discount, and code Kuba with Hardbody. Now, on to the topic at hand. Ifbb Pro Bloodwork. This bloodwork was actually taken 2 days after my show in Italy. So this is what I would consider blood work at peak stress. It would not be, in my opinion, any other time. It would not be possible to have any other time to show you my honest blood work. So again, full transparency in the channel. I always want to show you the ins and outs, and I do want to share my detailed breakdown of my blood work and how I am actually going to address some of the markers that are out of range and what supplements I will be using alongside of what nutrition practice, in my opinion, has allowed me to stay so healthy and have blood markers where they are at the moment, and what nutrition has allowed me and what supplements have actually allowed me to stay so healthy, keep my blood markers in check. Especially some of the blood markers that are extremely important, like the kidney function and hematocrit hemoglobin, that I see very, very problematic with a lot of people. Today's video, you definitely do not want to miss, as we will definitely cover a lot that will help you and will allow you to make better choices with your protocols, alongside of better choices with nutrition and supplementation for long-term health. So guys, first I want to cover my full blood count panel, which you will see on the screen right now. As you can see, my blood count is actually completely in range. And this, I can proudly say, does not change year round. Whether I'm in prep or in off season, I don't actually experience my red blood cells getting out of hand. My hemoglobin, as you can see, is in a perfect range. So is my hematocrit. And I think the biggest contributing factor to that is I do not allow myself to get out of shape. I supplement with vital support and Love Heart year round. And again, I will touch a little bit more on some of the properties Love Heart has and Heart Care on improving your cholesterol. But the biggest supplement here that plays a massive role is the vital support. It specifically has IP6 in it, which does tend to help with controlling hematocrit, that do tend to improve your blood cell count. So as you can see here, guys, if you were to look at this blood work and compare this to your standard Joe, just a random person off the street that follows a normal lifestyle, you know, going out the weekend, not really getting adequate sleep, poor nutrition, I can promise you their blood work probably looks a lot worse than mine at peak stress. So this is as bad as my blood work will ever look. So I am definitely extremely lucky, touch wood, to be able to stay super healthy whilst I'm doing this. And the whole point of this video is to educate you guys and give you the tools to actually stay as healthy as I am whilst pursuing your bodybuilding goals at the highest level. So as you can see here, guys, completely in check from a full blood count. My hematocrit, white blood cells, red blood cells are all in check, which is extremely epic. I do think that my lifestyle contributes to this. I do get plenty of sleep. I make sure that I stay fit through cardio in the off season and keep my stress levels down to, you know, to as acceptable levels as I physically can. Now, secondly, obviously sports nutrition helps from Trained by JP, like I've mentioned just now, the vital support especially. I think it's essential year round, not just when you are on supplements. Now, secondly, making smart choices, and I never go into detail with this because I don't think I need to. I think making a very smart choice with being sensible with the supplementation you use, making sure that you stick to supplements that are approved for human use. That's always a priority. And making sure that you are sensible with the amounts of supplements that you use. More does not do more. More will only do more damage long term. So you have to be sensible, and you have to make sure that you have the right support with people that have knowledge around this, giving you the right advice to keep your overall levels of supplementation down to be able to sustain great blood work like I have done throughout my entire prep. Obviously combining that with vital support and proper nutrition. And one thing I want to highlight here, guys, is a lot of coaches these days actually remove fruit and veggies from clients' diets in prep, and I think that's a massive mistake. Not hitting your micronutrient needs will directly have an impact on your lipids, and that will be your blood cell count, your actual kidney function to a degree, and your actual cholesterol. Not getting adequate fiber amounts in can actually be quite damaging. So you have to make sure they sustain a good level of fiber intake through fruit and veggies alongside of your micronutrients. So I have a rule where I actually take in a minimum of 600 grams of fruits, and that's mixed fruits, pineapple, berries, raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, across the day, apples as well. And then I consume 500 grams of veggies, mixed between mushrooms, peppers, spinach, asparagus and kale, across my entirety of the day. And that generally does meet my micronutrient needs. The easiest way to actually track that, guys, is have a set point where this variable doesn't change. And for me, the fruit and veg intake does not change year round. And I attribute the fruit and veg intake to me generally upkeeping great health and feeling so good as I have done in prep. So guys, moving forward, we have got kidney function. Again, extremely proud of the results here. My kidney function looks pretty much unfazed. It's pretty much as good as it's going to get. Again, comparing my kidney function here to just normal person of the street, I can promise you they probably don't have the same readings. Now, the supplements that I think have contributed to this, again, Vital Support and Love Heart, they do have tremendous effects on upkeeping the obviously kidney function in place alongside of Omega Pharma Pro. I think Omega Pharma Pro not only improves your cholesterol, but also improves your kidney function and reduces stress overall, allowing you to keep a better blood count as well. So I do think that prioritizing nutrition, obviously getting healthy fats in, getting all the micronutrient needs from a fruit and veg intake, combining that with the nutrition, combining that with supplements from Trained by JP is a massive game changer. And as you can see, the kidney function looks pretty stellar here, guys. And now moving forward to my liver function, again, ALT will always be slightly elevated with even higher protein intake and training. That is definitely no concern. If I was to rest completely for 4 to 5 days, the ALT would be completely in range. And if I was to have my bloods done fasted, that would be in range. So that's a metric that I am not concerned with. If you do get your blood work done with a doctor and they have good basic knowledge around blood work, they will recognize that higher protein intake will see that ALT level elevated. But what is most important is all the other metrics. As you can see here, guys, it's all in check within the right parameters, which is amazing. So again, even the liver stress hasn't really been that high. Uric acid, again, not that much problematic. And now moving on to the lipids, which is the cholesterol. Now, HDL, pretty damn low, but again, the supplements that I'll be using to combat this is Love Heart, Heart Care, and Omega Pharma Pro. I take in 10 grams of fats from Omega Pharma Pro daily, and that always keeps my cholesterol in check and actually improves my HDL as soon as I go into my health phase in the off season. My expectations for the HDL will actually be to rise, and my overall cholesterol will actually stay low, keeping my LDL down. From all the new research, there is no correlation between low HDL and heart disease. What there is correlation between is higher LDL and heart disease. So as soon as the LDL, in my opinion, ventures above 2.5, that is when problems start to occur. So in my opinion, keeping that LDL as a rough range below 2 is always epic. And as you can see, my LDL and triglycerides are actually low. And I actually have comparisons on blood work every 6 weeks, pretty much since the past 2 years. And my blood work hasn't actually changed. It's always stayed consistent with my LDL being low and HDL ranging between 0.2 and up to pretty much 80s when I'm fully recovered and the off season. So as you can see here, guys, definitely no issues. Testosterone and cortisol, again, testosterone at 17, which is natty range. Main reason for that is I ceased my supplementation pretty much 5 days before the show. So as you can see here, guys, it's pretty much cleared to the point where I was pretty much almost half natty. Pretty much natty levels when I had the blood work done. So again, full transparency, guys, here. There is no blasting post-show for me. There's always a health phase post-show, and as you can see here from blood work, guys, I don't lie. I've got all that to share with you. Now, prolactin and cortisol, slightly elevated. I think that's just mainly down to stress from the show and some of the fatigue that will have been inevitable. Estrogen, 119, which is mid-range. Again, I do not crush my estrogen. I'm not a believer in that completely. I like to keep my estrogen on slightly lower side, which always works. Progesterone in range, obviously LH and FSH is always going to be low when you are on TRT or using testosterone replacement, like myself. SHBG is always going to be quite low when you are using testosterone. Obviously, free testosterone is going to be high. Now, moving on to thyroid function. Thyroid function is slightly elevated as I am using replacement thyroid. I always do tend to use that to uphold my metabolism in a good spot during prep. Again, your thyroid function is extremely important. I don't think that thyroid should ever be used as a fat loss tool. It should more so be used to keep metabolism in check and keep a good healthy level of metabolism. So as you can see, guys, it's almost within range, just slightly above. So that simply means that my thyroid medication needs to be slightly reduced, which is completely fine. And again, it's great data to use from these actual blood work to be able to gauge and correctly dose my thyroid replacement that I use year round. Now, all of the markers are pretty much in check. Vitamin B12 a little bit higher, that's definitely no issue, alongside of vitamin D3 being slightly above the range, which is definitely completely fine, and folate in range. So full transparency, guys, here. This is Ifbb Pro blood work and how it looks at peak stress for me. I value bodybuilding and I value longevity. I want to do this for the next 8 to 10 years at least. If I'm able to do that, my blood work certainly needs to reflect it. If I redline anything, my blood work simply will not be up to par and up to a great standard, allowing to have longevity in the sport. Now, let's break down the supplementation that, in my opinion, is key to maintaining this level of blood work. Heart care, love heart. Both are tremendous for improving your lipid profile, keeping the LDL down and improving HDL, alongside of Omega Pharma Pro, which again has endless benefits with keeping the stress levels down, even improves your cognitive function. It's an amazing fat source that you simply cannot get from foods. So, I am a massive believer in whole foods. This is why, I always preach making sure you eat your fruit and veg intake, match your micronutrient needs, which I always do. Eat healthy fats coming from poly and monounsaturated sources. But when it comes to fat intake, you should all be taking in a high dose and a high quality omega-3. In my opinion, 10 grams per day is going to put you in a tremendous position, allowing you to improve your lipid profile, combining that with heart care and love heart, which is a massive game changer for me upholding this level of blood work. Now, when it comes to hemoglobin and your red blood cell count and hematocrit, vital support is the king, alongside of the kidney function. It really is a game changer. So these are the supplements that I think are basic essentials for you to be using year round to support your health and manage your blood work and manage your lipids in general, so that you can do this for a longer period of time. When it comes to nutrition practice, making sure that you prioritize good quality fats coming from poly and monounsaturated fats. However, I am not a big believer in using high fats. Higher fats than needed, in my opinion, can actually make your lipid profile pretty worse. I've seen it happen over and over again with guys who bump up the fat intake way too high and the actual LDL rises, which is something that you do not want happening. Keep your fat intake moderate, making sure that you prioritize the quality of your fat intake. Then make sure that you stay fit in the off season and you do not allow your body fat to creep higher than needed. Staying leaner generally will keep you healthier. It will mean that your body's less inflamed, there's less pressure on your kidneys, there's less pressure on your actual whole system, meaning that you will keep an improved lipid panel with your better cholesterol, with better kidney function and better blood cell count. So these are my tools for upholding health and managing health. Is, again, nutrition is always king, staying lean, utilizing hard cardio in off season when it's needed. The only times I don't really do cardio is when I actually come down into a diet. When I start coming back up in the off season, cardio gets reintroduced for these purposes. It's heart health and obviously keeping lipid health in check as well, and managing blood pressure. But as you can see, you guys, from this sort of blood work, it's all looking perfect. And then last but not least, trained by JP Subs, the highest quality ingredients, guys, that you have in the market. And they will be a massive game changer to you upholding your health and managing your health in general, meaning that you can do this for a long time, you can be happy, and again, the healthier you are, more progress you will make. I've never ever come across an athlete that has gotten results from being less healthy. You will always grow more when you are healthier and you'll always feel better. So stay lean, eat whole foods, supplement with JP, keep your cardio in, and get after it, guys. 5 top tips for improving your lipid health. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Honest video, sharing my blood work at peak stress. I will more than likely show you some more bloods later on down the season, but I'll be very honest and pretty much everyone can vouch for this that sees my blood work on a regular basis, including my clients, because I do post it for my clients as well in our client group. This is how my blood work looks like year round. This is probably the worst it'll look. And then year round, the lipid panel improves and my kidney function even improves even more, which is quite promising for my long-term health. You cannot put price on your health. Make sure you invest in yourself. Peace out and take care for now. Subscribe to the channel, show me some love, comment below. Peace out and take care.